Caramel. We'll mix it up. Won't go West Allen this week.
Meme review. Let's hope
Caramel montage review. Where's Ben when you need him?
Yeah, I know exactly. Is he asleep? Is he asleep by now? I don't know.
As if I don't know.
Probably maybe
asleep, awake,
possibly
in a grey area. I don't know, somewhere around that.
What's up, Markel Scott? How are you doing? Again, placeholder photo as usual. I guess I should go ahead and do my spiel. I think we're good. We're showing up green, so I'm going to assume we're good. Welcome to the hashtag Afterparty, where we talk about all the DC TV shows for the week. Well, most of them, not all of them. Or whichever ones we feel like. I guess it just depends on which week you're with us. This week, we are going to dedicate most of our time to the lead into Crisis. Most of the shows, the main plot points were leading into our Crisis event, so that's what we're going to focus on. Yes, we are starting a little bit earlier because we got a lot to get through, and I don't want to make this live stream much longer than it needs to be. Izetzi, giving you a little message there in chat. Pagey.
Hold on. Sorry, but Paige needs to stay in the DCU and stop being a shill of CW. Oh, well, maybe. Wait and see. We'll wait and see.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, what's up, guys? If you're watching this on playback, I may put timestamps in before I wake up after this goes live, or I may not. I don't know. It depends. I'm really tired, so we'll see what happens. Make the stream as long as it needs to be. Well, I mean, I guess, yeah. Honestly, we just have so many things to go over, and I kind of want to focus on Crisis. So here's the thing. I haven't seen Batwoman this week. Pagey hasn't seen Supergirl, but we're not going to leave you guys without talking about the shows. He's going to talk for like a couple minutes about Batwoman. I'll talk a couple minutes about Supergirl, right? Is that what we're doing?
A couple of minutes.
Yeah.
I was going home for like 15-second review.
Okay, that's what we'll do. All right, so Pagey, I've not seen Batwoman. I don't care about the spoilers or whatever. What is your quick review of Batwoman? I'm not even going to put photos up. What is your quick review of Batwoman this week? I don't even know the name of the episode. A Mad Tea Party, I think, was the name of it.
Yeah, it was just like bit of a hashtag. It was almost like a diss track.
Okay.
With a death.
Okay.
So it was a deathly diss track. That's probably the best way to put it. But it was a decent episode. It's just that like it was leading up to one thing, and it's very predictable, but it was still decent at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. Yeah.
That's it.
Honestly, I'm struggling. There's too much Crisis stuff that's happened that Batwoman's sort of like.
I know. I just completely forgot about it. I was like sitting here today and I'm like, oh, I didn't watch it this week, and I didn't have time before the live stream. So
the biggest, like, people have asked me like what, like, because I know you like have like that thing where you don't think it's a bad show, just like one of those shows that just doesn't grab you and go, hey, watch me, please. I'm really interesting. I think the big issue is that it's the first season of a show that's like Arrow, so it feels a bit out of place almost.
Okay.
If that makes sense, like it's not as like, it just feels a bit disjointed.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. Also, because I'm pretty sure it's, as I just told you, I'm pretty sure it's like a year back in the timeline. Like, I'm pretty sure we're just after Elseworlds in Batwoman, so it just feels a bit disconnected from everything else. So, I don't know, I think I really wish that they didn't have a 22 episode season this season. I'm fine with the future seasons. It's just I don't think Alice can last 22 episodes.
Right.
Because she's been in every single episode.
I'm actually bored with her, and I know I said that I really enjoyed her previously, and I think she is an interesting character. I think that she's a character that you either do in small doses over a longer period of time. Like, I think if like every other episode was an Alice episode, I could probably handle it, but I feel like there's just too much of her, and I'm really just not. I'm just over it, kind of.
Or because she's meant to be this like they name threats. They say it's not the Joker, it's not the Riddler, it's not Alice. Like if she's meant to be this like, maybe not top 3, but say like top 5 threat in Gotham, the way you make it, increase her longevity is that she hires people, she hires villains.
Right.
That like pretty much a lot of villains are just pretty criminals for hire. So just hire, make Victor Zsasz show up or something like that, and he's taken a bounty or something from Alice to target Batwoman, to target this person. Make that an episode,
right?
Though, and like it can all be connected to a larger story, whether it's a conspiracy or just a larger story in general. Just go down that route. But You never know. In the back half, they could do that. I just don't know. It's really weird. I think and it's a bit dodgy for a first season to get an extension because
Right.
they must have a plan to get to that 16th episode. So now, what was it 13? I think it was 13. 13? I think it was 13.
Right.
And now they're going to add 9 on. So what's that additional 9 episodes? Are they just going to stretch that Alice story as much as they can? Or is there going to be another storyline placed in there?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's the big question.
So my thing about Batwoman is I need to see a little bit more advancement of the characters. I feel like we sped through the Alice story. Honestly, by the second episode, Alice was pretty much underway. And at first I enjoyed it, but now I feel like they maybe did too much too early. So they're stretching everything else thin. And that's just kind of the way I feel about it. But
Yeah, no, I think I'm still fine with Alice. I think it's more that I think she's still compelling. I think it's more that they tried to do a lot with the supporting characters and try to write. Like I think they had a lot of supporting characters off the get go that they wanted to do storylines with, and sometimes that doesn't work.
right.
Especially when the villain is so personal as well, and like there's a lot of stuff to focus on there as well.
Right.
So I don't know. I think it's Batwoman just had growing pains. Like people say, like the pilot was terrible. Honestly, for a pilot, it was actually probably above average. Like, let's be honest. Like, I think it's probably, you know, average to above average for a
Excuse me.
pilot.
Yeah.
But I think just had growing pains in regards to like the side characters in the opening episodes. But I don't know. I'm intrigued to see what they do going forward because everyone's saying it's going to get cancelled. It won't get cancelled. It's an HBO Max launch title. It's 100% not getting cancelled.
Right.
And I think it's still above $1 million.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
I think.
It is. And some of the other shows aren't. So there you have it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got a couple super chats. I know they're Crisis related, but since we're basically going to be doing Crisis for the majority of this video, I'll go ahead and answer these. Gary Gammon with the $4.99 super chat says, "Do you think the changes in Crisis will help make The Flash a better show in future seasons after Crisis?" I mean, I don't know if one has anything to do with the other. I mean, I feel like The Flash this season has been more consistently good than bad. So, I mean, unless there's some major character shifts that happen with Crisis, I don't really know. What do you think about that? I mean, I feel like The Flash is in a pretty good spot right now, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know if that means if Gary thinks The Flash is bad at the moment. It's just like in regards to Flash, a better show. The show that benefits the most is Supergirl because I think all the shows will benefit from it because you can clean house. Not in regards to necessarily like characters, but storylines. So,
Right.
say if whatever happens, Supergirl can make it that like they're the only like the Kryptonians are the only aliens that are known to Earth. Like there wasn't that whole thing in season 1 with the whatever that spaceship was called that crashed, like the space prison. Like there's none of that. Like they're the only known aliens at least.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there could be like like a Martian Manhunter.
And there's
No
all
one
like
knows,
right
yeah.
because Mars may not be the same on Earth 1 as it is on Earth 38. So
Yeah, like Mars could just be Mars. Like no
Right.
one actually like there might not be any Martians.
So thank you for the super chat. We've got another one here from Victor D. Chinchilla with $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much. He says, after Crisis, are all shows to reset so the first half never happened, or how much will it change? I don't think there's going to be a reset of the first half of any of the shows. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's just going to, after that mid-season stuff, it's going to swap over, and whatever happens in Crisis will just carry through for the rest of the season.
It'll
Right.
be little things. I think it'll be establishing Crisis what those changes are. They don't necessarily have to happen in the shows.
Right. So
If that makes sense.
Yeah, so I don't think the first half's going to change on any of the shows. I mean, I don't see why they would, but I mean, it's possible, but I highly doubt it. But thank you for the super chat there. So that's your thoughts on Batwoman. So guys, give your scores of Batwoman Mad Tea Party in the chat. Sorry I didn't put any photos up. I wasn't sure how long we were going to talk about it. Mad Tea Party. Throw up your scores in the chat for this episode 1 to 10. And then we're going to answer Sam's super chat here. Good to see Sam in the chat. It's been a while. So it seems like people are somewhat enjoying Batwoman. Maybe she's winning people over now. Maybe it's settling in for some people.
Yeah. You're just sexist, Eric.
I just haven't watched it. Okay, so let me answer Sam's. super
I'm an
chat.
idiot because I didn't watch Supergirl.
Sam with the $20 super chat. He says, "Would you like Steven cameos or episode appearances after Arrow ends, like in Flash, crossovers, or even the new Arrow spinoff? And then another Oliver character, maybe a villain, would be a good story to make this happen." Well, thank you so much for the $20 super chat. But I will say this: I never want to see Stephen Amell on the future Arrow series. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
What do you think? You same way? I don't want to see him at all on that show.
Yeah, just reading. Would you like Stephen I wouldn't like him in the Arrow spin-off. Wouldn't mind him in like a future crossover if they do something there.
Or even the Flash. I
can
wouldn't
be
mind him on
worked
the
in.
Flash either. I mean, if
He works in, then it makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, I'm still like under the opinion of like, do we just let that the spin-off potentially burn and die?
Well, the other
I don't know. Like the thing is that like, well, did you see that like episode 9 is actually officially called Green Arrow and the Canaries?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's actual episode title, which I think most people thought it would be, but I'm just the closer it gets, the less I could care about it, but the more I just don't want it to happen. You know, what I mean? I think this season has annoyed me because they've used this season as a like they pretty much like at least half of this season is just set up for it, which is a bit frustrating.
Mm-hmm. So, as far as him coming back as a villain or something, I don't want to see that either. I don't think I'd want to see Stephen Amell come back as a villain character. I mean, I guess it could work in some ways. Like on the Flash, it would be cool to see him as like an evil, like Flash, I guess. But I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of. I feel like bringing him back to the shows while there's another Green Arrow show on seems a little weird. Like if that show wasn't happening, I could see him coming back, but it's just kind of weird.
Yeah, like I understand cross that mate. Like I should stay open minded, and I'm still giving it the benefit of the doubt, but it's just the show's not giving me a reason to care about it, and they're trying to make you care about it. That's why they're constantly setting it up.
Right.
It's just like, yeah, I don't know, but
all right. So
did Pagey just say he cares about the Mega spinoff? Did I? I retract that statement. I retract it.
All right, so I'm going to talk about the Supergirl episode briefly as well, just so people won't get mad that we didn't talk about it this week. So you have not seen Supergirl this week, and this episode was titled "The Wrath of Rama Khan," I believe was the name of it. And
there we go.
Yeah, The Wrath of Rama Khan. So there's a lot of things I felt was wrong with this episode of Supergirl. I think it was the weakest of the 4 or 5 Arrowverse. Definitely weaker than Black Lightning, even though we don't talk about that on the live stream. But weaker than all the other shows. We've got these ancient gods. Did you see the episode prior to this one though?
Yeah, and he could like he was like he could move. Like was he like a geographical?
He's like an earthbender,
basically.
thing? Yeah, he's
yeah,
like an earthbender. Yeah. So Ramakan and Mitch Pileggi, I think is how his name is pronounced. I don't like him in this role. I think it's really bad. I think he's overacting quite a bit, and it just seems.
Yeah,
it's. I know he's supposed to be acting like a god, but it's not. He's not giving me the gravitas that I need. It's just. It doesn't feel right. It feels very put on, and I just don't believe it. So.
Well, he's like used to playing like just like that straight cop sort of or like or like government figure. Like he was obviously on.
He would be a great general or like a cop or like a lawyer or something, but I don't buy him as this character in this Ren Fair outfit. So
yeah, and then he was like on the most recent season of American Horror Story,
right?
For like I think only an episode, but yeah.
Well, I mean, and Ganger Venom says overacting is better than underacting. I guess to some degree. Well, it looks like there's YouTube has slowed my stream down for some reason.
Has what?
I'm getting a red thing from YouTube telling me that it is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming, so you may experience buffering, which is weird because I'm using OBS Studios and there's no drop frame or anything. So
I think it's fine.
Okay,
it's not cut out yet on my end.
All right, well, let's hope that it works and doesn't end on me because I'm not getting any drop frames. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, I think that the thing is that Mitch Pileggi, he doesn't really he sells it too hard for me, and he's out there in this ridiculous costume walking around in the city like, you know, nothing is going on or whatever. It's a lot of really weird stuff happening with this character. I don't buy it. I did enjoy the stuff between Hope and Lena, and I think the special effects were a little bit better in certain parts of this episode, but then there were other parts where it felt like it was from 2003, and it's inconsistency, and I wish that, I don't know, I wish Supergirl would fix itself. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening behind the scenes with the show, but there's definitely something screwing up what was becoming a really good series. I think last season had the opportunity to push it even harder this year, and then they just kind of dropped the ball. So, what's up?
No, just dodgy Supergirl opinions, Eric's.
Oh, yeah. So, Victor with the 199 super chat is Crisis Crossing Over. Is Crisis Crossing Over? Well, thank you for the super chat. I'm not sure what you mean by that. We are going to be talking about Crisis tonight, but I'm not sure if that's what you mean. But yeah, thank you for the super chat. So I guess the big thing at the end of this episode, since we're just going to kind of skip ahead, is that Martian Manhunter gets approached by the Monitor, and the Monitor says that he's been testing him by releasing his brother. And that's pretty much the tie-in we get at the end, next to maybe the Nash Wells scene. And so it looks like the Monitor has been testing the people on Earth-38 as well. I'm assuming to get them ready for Crisis. I don't know. I mean, for me, Supergirl, I really, really enjoyed most of last season. And I felt like there was a lot of strong episodes, especially towards the end. Maybe it'll happen again this year. I don't know. Not going to talk about Lex. Well, I mean, we knew Lex. I don't really know what else to say about Lex. John Cryer's great as Lex. He's going to be coming back to help with Crisis. I do believe we already knew that, though. That was on like the poster a while back. So,
and what's his name? David Harewood, who plays Martian Manhunter, or John Jones, just straight up said Lex Luthor is in episode 11 of Supergirl.
Yeah, so I mean that's fine. I thought it was fine. He's, he says that he needs somebody who can always checkmate people, and that's true. So there's that. Anyway, go in the chat. Give me your score for Supergirl. What did you guys think of it? 1 to 10. Scores on Supergirl from 1 to 10. I would love to know what you guys think. All right, so should we talk about Titans before we jump into the Crisis stuff?
No, well, I want to ask you, have you watched Watchmen?
Yes, I have.
You caught up?
Yeah, I'm all the way caught up.
Okay, no, I was just curious because, what are your thoughts on the show? Well, that's spoiling it because I think it's a show that talk about spoilers if you want it.
Yeah, you would. So I like the series. I think it's interesting. A lot of it I feel like is unpredictable. Like I think there's some cool twists in the series that I wasn't seeing coming, but I do feel like there's a lot of social commentary that is very predictable, and I just wish that they wouldn't have, I feel like some of it's done well, some of it's not. But I'm enjoying the show. I'm looking forward to it every week. So, I mean, that's much I can say about it. I'm really interested in this twist on Dr. Manhattan, so we'll see what happens with that. What about you? What are you thinking about it right now? No,
I love it. I think the only episode which I was like, I think it's like one of the opening episodes, I think somewhere in the first 3 episodes, there's one that's a bit boring, but it's all set up in development. But it's not that, incredibly interesting.
Right.
But yeah, the past 3 episodes have been amazing. The last one, probably... Yeah, I wouldn't be able to pick out the last 3 which one was my favorite because I think they were all pretty much 10 out of 10.
My least favorite episode of the whole series is the first one, and I think it's only because it's got to set everything up. So
yeah, pretty much. Let's move on to Titan so you can have your little rant.
Okay, so we're gonna do. You guys get a special thing here. We're gonna be talking about Titan season 2, but oh wait, hold on, Maddie B Custom. Before we do that. 199 Super Chat. What are you guys' thoughts on the Black Widow trailer? I think it looks interesting. I like the idea of this backstory of her character. I think that the movie should have came out like 4 years ago. But I mean, I'm going to go see it, and I like Black Widow, so I guess we'll see how it's going to go. What are your thoughts on it?
Pretty much the same. Like, it should have come out. It should have been one of the first movies after Age of Ultron. Like, what was the point of doing all those flashbacks and then not do anything with it going forward until now?
Right.
Like, even the trailer used the flashbacks from Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I'm interested to see what the fight scenes are like. Because they, especially with this, because it's pretty much a lot of hand-to-hand combat, it could be very edited and not be very good. Is it a coincidence we're about to talk about Titans? But it could be highly edited, and not be, because I don't think the fight in the trailer is very well edited. To be completely honest, there's a lot of cuts and stuff, but I'm looking forward to it. As I would have been looking forward to it much more if it was X amount of years ago, just after Age of Ultron. But it does seem it's going to be like someone just said it, like the Jason Bourne movies mixed. Well, pretty much Jason Bourne, maybe with a bit of like Winter Soldier mixed in there.
Yeah.
Like Captain America, Winter Soldier. So I'm looking forward to it.
Just because I'm curious, what would you guys score the Black Widow trailer? I'm curious about a score 1 to 10. 1 to 10. What is your score on the Black Widow trailer? I don't normally do that in a DC stream, but I am very curious about what your guys' thoughts are on that. Kevin Feige wanted to make Black Widow movie in Phase 1 that Marvel president allowed him once Marvel Studios split away from he was allowed to. No, I understand the reasoning behind it. I just think that it's unfortunate that it took this long to get the movie made. Wow, there's some pretty high scores. Interesting. Let's talk about Titan Season 2. Let's do that. That's going to be fun.
Do you want me to do a musical intro?
Oh God, no! Because I know how your music intros usually gets videos in trouble. So you guys are in for a treat. Normally, I don't dedicate a whole section to Titans, but Titan Season 2.
Oh, he's even got pictures.
Yeah,
he even got pictures.
I even got pictures. Titan Season 2 is wrapped up, and I didn't do video reviews on it because, quite frankly, it was boring. But so Titan Season 2 wrapped up. So if you don't want to be spoiled on Titan Season 2, you might want to go away for like 5 or 6 minutes and then come back and we'll talk about.
Honestly, you're not missing much.
You're not. Like honestly, I can't really spoil much because nothing happens until the final episode. So don't worry, I'm not going to spoil anything for this. So, Pagey, we've talked a little bit about Titans privately, and this show is like right there. Like it's got promise of being something amazing because of the platform it's on, the people behind it, and the
resources they have.
Yeah, the resources, the flexibility. Why on earth do we spend so many episodes of this show sitting around talking?
I can tell you why.
It's a talking simulator. It's a talking simulator. That's what it is.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you why. I think.
Okay, go ahead.
You could tell from like going from. Because you know how the first half is just reused footage from what was meant to be last season's finale, and then they add on what is it, like the Bruce Wayne conversation, the Deathstroke stuff,
right?
And is that it?
Yeah,
I think that's a lot more they added on.
Yeah,
you can tell the difference from going from episode 1 to episode 2 is they cut the budget. You can tell they cut the budget, and that's why it's all inside talking.
Yeah,
I don't know what the budget was last season and what it is this season, but there's a reason that they went to Titan's Tower. I think it's indoor scenes a lot. They can just talk. It's not a lot to, they have to pay for like certain council things to.
So people are saying we like talking. It's not like they're having one conversation an episode. There were episodes where there was literally nothing but conversation from start to finish. I can point out at least 3 episodes in the first half of the season where there was no action. There was no character development. There was no story progression. It was literally conversations in rooms inside of Titan's Tower. There's no reason why a show has to do that. And a lot of them were conversations that were unnecessary. They were not character building. It's like me talking with a friend about what we're going to have for dinner. Those are the kind of conversations they were having. They were pointless.
Yeah. Like really, when you think about it, like if you're going to do what Titans did, where it's, arguably it's designed to be binged. Like, it's pretty much designed for the Netflix crowd rather than the DC Universe crowd. And if you're going to have the talking. It's got to lead somewhere. So when you get to a certain point in the season, you look back, and I'm not saying like 100% of the things that are talked about can be looked back and go, okay, this is where it led. But the majority of it has to.
Right.
And Titans just never did that, or they'd set up stuff that never paid off.
There's just like, I know that I've complained about like an episode of one of our CW shows having too much dialogue and not enough action, but Titans takes the cake for me. Week to week, it was literally like we would have shot glasses lined up, and it'd be like, take a shot when somebody throws a punch or something, and nobody would take any shots because nothing would happen. Nothing would happen.
Like, I don't think it's like it's no surprise that the best episode of the season is the Superboy episode.
Absolutely.
Where he pretty much doesn't stop moving. He's either walking, and it's not much, it's him and Crypto.
Right.
Pretty much the entire
it felt
episode.
it felt like an episode of a show. It felt like a real show.
Yeah.
I'd watch that show. Give me Superboy and Crypto and just call it a day. I'd watch the show all day long.
Yeah. And then you had the best action scene in the entire season? Mm-hmm. When the Cadmus soldiers come in, or whatever you want to call them, the troops.
Absolutely. I don't understand how you can have the resources that Warner Brothers has, and you put out a show like this, and then it boggles my mind even more that there are people who adamantly defend the show like it's so much better than everything else. I don't understand that.
Well, yours truly just said Flash could do a talking episode and it would still be better than Titans. They did it last week. Yeah, the Flash did it last week. It was a full talking episode, pretty much the entire episode, and they did it much better.
Like, here's another thing.
It had purpose. It had purpose.
If you ask anybody what they were waiting for in this season of Titans, you know what it was? Nightwing. That's all anybody cared about. They wanted to see Nightwing in live action on the screen. There's nothing wrong with that. Look, I'm totally down for seeing like your favorite character on screen doing their thing. Like, I'll rally that all day. But that's like 99.9% of the people watching the show were waiting to get to Nightwing. The showrunners knew that, so they made you wait all the way until the very last episode. And then you get arguably the worst fight choreography we've had the whole season in that episode, with two characters who are supposed to be two of the most skilled fighters in the DC universe. That's horrible. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Not to mention that fight scene. Oh, that fight scene between Deathstroke and Nightwing is so bad. And the costume for Rose is one of the worst costumes I've ever seen. That mask
She looks
like something from Beetlejuice. It's like, what is going on here?
And she looks, she's wearing gardening gloves.
Yeah, they're like orange gardening gloves. Like, what assassin wears that? Yeah. It's absolutely horrible. And then the costumes. Okay, you guys, there are some costumes, like the ones on screen right now, the Wonder Girl, the Dove costume. I think both of those are probably the better costumes on the show, honestly. Like, I think Hawk's got a really cool costume. The Nightwing costume is only good from the waist up because it's just all spandex with armor on it. The Deathstroke costume is only good in the armor part and the mask. The rest of it is, again, spandex. It's like... And people are just... I mean, I'm not saying that that Arrowverse of CW is dropping, like, groundbreaking television. But is Titans really doing that? I don't think so. I think Titans is... It's no better than a CW show. I mean, that's really what I'm trying to get at when I'm saying all of this. Like, there's problems with Titans that you would see on a network TV show. You know what I mean? Like, it's not something you expect to see in, like, Netflix or Hulu or HBO Max or, something like that. Customers are paying for this service. They're paying for these shows. And this is the best they can do? And then... with Wonder Girl killed off arguably one of the best characters on the show. And the CGI, the VFX is just... The cat on... what's her name?
Ravager.
No. On Black Lightning. What's her name? Grace. That can shapeshift. When she turns into her cat form, it looks 1,000 times better than the one that Gar turns into. And they supposedly have a better, like, access to better things in these on these shows with the streaming service. I don't get it. And then people are saying that they're like, oh, well, you know, it's so much better and you should pay more attention to it because CW's dying off and, you know, the DC Universe shows are the next thing or whatever. And I'm like, how is that possible? Stargirl was struggling to find a place. They had to fit her into another network and another deal because I don't think DC Universe is going to be around for another year. I think we may have 1 year left in it, if that.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what they're going to, because the issue is like, they have like the year memberships, and it's a service. It's a weird service. It's not like how what's the thing with HBO in America at the moment? Is it just HBO Now?
HBO Go and HBO Now. It's two different services.
Yeah, so like those services are just being folded in. So you just keep the same subscription, but you get HBO Max. But with DC Universe, it's completely different because there's like comics, there's all that animated stuff, there's all this other crap there.
Right.
So it's harder to fold it in. So and also it's cheaper. That's the other thing. It's like $7, while HBO Max is gonna be like 15, like double the price. So you can't just fold it in. So what happens to DC Universe? Is it just this thing that stays there? And Titans is the only, and Harley Quinn.
And Cullen Prime makes a good point. He goes, "Why didn't Superboy catch the tower before Wonder Girl?" Like, there's a lot of things that could have stopped that from happening, but they just stood there and watched it. Anyway, go ahead, Paige, what you're saying.
Oh, I don't know how they fold it in. It seems like they're in a mess, and it's just going to end up with double dipping, and like double dipping your fans. Like really, if you have a DC fan that wants to watch, say, the Green Lantern show on HBO Max, and even whatever's on there, and then like say another Titan or not, like another DC Universe is showing, that's $22, $23 a month,
right?
That you're making someone pay to watch all that stuff. So it's just double dipping, and it's just. I don't know how they're going to resolve it just because of that comic stuff, but it's going to be interesting.
Oh, and let's not even talk about how some people are saying that that the Deathstroke from that show is better than the one on Arrow. Like,
if anyone actually thinks the Titans Deathstroke is better, yikes in the chat. Like, I don't know. I don't know how you can think that. Like, look, I'll agree. I think the guy has the voice for it. I think he has a really cool voice, especially for like your comic book Slade, because obviously the one on Arrow, they like made him Australian, work stuff in there to make him a bit of a different character, to make him end up on the China on Lian Yu and stuff. And like that's the like that just sums Titans up. That Deathstroke had so much potential, but so does Titans. But the thing is that they just don't know where to go. Like, really, if they wanted to fix Titans, Hawk and Dove, the door's there. You can go out.
Yeah, get rid of those two characters. That'll take away a lot of the problems it has right now. Like,
the only excuse over here for keeping them around is because Minka Kelly's hot. No, I don't care. If it's just like it's ruining the show, out the door. Just keep it the 4. Like, why is there so much focus on Jason Todd? Why is there so much focus on him? Why is he hanging around the Titans so much? Let him be with Bruce Wayne. Do that. Why are they setting up the Red Hood stuff on Titans?
Right.
Let him, focus that with Batman. If they want to do a Red Hood thing, have him just be with, that side of things now. Who else is on there? What are the other side? Superboy. Like, I don't mind Superboy being there, but he shouldn't have been there this season. He should have been there like 2 or maybe next season. And then they could have given focus. And like, he's the 5th member.
Also, do you feel like the Raven stuff was kind of glazed over in that first episode? It's like they wrapped that up and moved right into the next story. It was so weird.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think the Raven stuff is just like, I think her character's always probably going to feel a bit half done for a while because of how season 1 ended and it wasn't done well.
Yeah. You got 13 episodes and we're going to put everything we can into these 13 episodes, whether it makes sense or not. And that's kind of how I feel about it. So guys in the chat, give your scores of Titan season 2 as a whole. Like, just drop a score 1 to 10, what you think. I mean, might as well, so we can move on to talk about Flash, Arrow, and Crisis and kind of get away from some of this garbage. Dove is better than Mia. Oh, I just
honestly, like, a literal turd would be better than Mia.
1, 7, 2, 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. Starfire, that storyline's whatever.
Like, honestly, the best thing to come out of Titans season 2 was Crypto.
Yeah, I agree.
And Superboy and Crypto. But even the Superboy stuff was annoying in the end.
So let's talk about Flash. This was the Temptation of Barry Allen Part 2. Of this 2-parter.
The Last Temptation.
Yeah, The Last Temptation of Barry Allen Part 2. So it picked up right where last week's episode left off. And I mean, this episode for me was weird. Okay, so maybe it was just me. I think the story was fine, but the directing was really weird in this episode. There was weird scenes and weird shots, like the one that stands out for me is where Barry was walking up the ramp by the particle accelerator, and it's like this long shot of him walking up and then kneeling down, and it's just like they don't normally shoot the costume from that direction. It just looked really weird. I'm like, that's really strange. And then a couple of the angles where the shots pan and some of the choices for dialogue. I mean, it just felt like it was kind of weird for me. I don't know. Maybe it was just me, but has this person ever directed a Flash episode before? Is this a new director? It just felt, I don't think we've seen anything like this.
It was like weird shots of like Bloodwork's face. Like they did like where like only half of his head was in the shot.
Right.
Like it looked cool with some things when he was tilting his head back.
Yeah.
But when he's just like, his head's just straight, it looked a bit weird. I wasn't too sure what they were going for. But yeah, I didn't notice too many. I know that shot was a bit weird. I know the one you're talking about when he's walking up to like where they put the blood in.
Yeah.
I know which one you're talking about. That was a bit weird. I didn't like reminisce about it too much. But didn't stay in my mind too much, but it was a bit strange.
Yeah, I'm trying
to see. Odd, just don't see it too often.
Let's see. Director. Let's see The Flash. I'm scrolling down through here. I don't see a lot of The Flash on his list. I think this was the only one. Yeah, it was the only one. That's why it felt so weird. This is
Michael Nankin.
Yeah, this is the only episode of The Flash that he's ever directed. Very, very weird.
Well, he's best known as a writer.
Yeah, and a producer. Double Crit had a $2 super chat. Sorry, I missed it. I'm going back up. Is Gar the worst character on the show? Probably. He's one of the worst. There's a lot of bad characters on Titans. Gar is one of my least favorites, though. So sorry about that. Sorry I missed your super chat. I just noticed it. But thank you so much for the support. What do you think about Gar on the show? One of the worst characters? I mean, they're all pretty bad. So,
like, can you really care about any of the characters? Like half the time you're just saying like Deathstroke. Please kill them.
Yeah.
Please.
That's kind of what I was thinking too, yeah. Ganger Venom with the $2 super chat. Oh god, we're still talking about Titans. The Bloodwork CG is better than Trigon and Malice CG. So here's the thing, you guys. The one thing The Flash knows is that CGI and VFX on a TV budget work better at nighttime. So they shoot a lot of their CGI and stuff at night as much as they can. And I know it's kind of a cop-out, and you see it, you're like, oh, they're fighting at nighttime or whatever, but it works. It makes the VFX look better, so I don't really have a problem with it. Any thoughts on that, Pagey? I mean...
Yeah, Trigon looked terrible.
Trigon was worse than Malice, I think. Or Malice, or whatever, however they pronounce it. Let's see. App Lifestyle, $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Flash was awesome. I'm happy to pretend that season 5 and let's have season 4 didn't happen. OG Flash is back. Yeah, I mean, the episode was fine. I felt like the content of the episode was good. It just was it was an oddly directed episode. And it just kind of felt strange. It didn't feel like The Flash to me. So the wrap up for Bloodwork, we know that he's been captured now and locked away. Are you happy that he may come back later? I mean, I feel like they're leaving the door open in case they want to use him again at some point.
I don't think it's going to be too much of a surprise if there's something where somehow Bloodwork gets in the hands of that black hole.
Okay.
Whether it's through some corruption in Argus or something along those lines. But yeah, like I'm more interested to see how they set up the season 2 villain. Whether that villain might have been created from what happened in this episode or just comes about another way.
Right. So, it was really interesting because in this episode, we have the scene where Cisco goes to use that device on Bloodwork to try and neutralize him. And Bloodwork lets him go back to Star Labs or whatever. I'm so glad that was something that was written that way on purpose, because immediately after it happened, I was like, why would he let Cisco go back? he could have just infected him right then and it wouldn't have made a difference. But he didn't. Yeah. He just sent him back. And the whole time they're at Star Labs, they're talking about his plan and everything. And I'm like, that was dumb. Why would he let you do that? It didn't make any sense. And then they came back and said, oh, it's because Barry was sort of influencing him or whatever. So I thought that was very smartly done. And I'm glad they did that. I can't think of anything else in the episode that felt like wrong to me in terms of decisions or choices. Did you have any issues with any of the actions of characters in this episode, or do you feel like everybody was acting appropriately? And
no, not really. Like what Iris did was a bit risky, but it's something that she would have done.
You mean going back to the apartment?
Going to the apartment and sort of getting baited.
Yeah.
The only thing I sort of like was like, oh, that's a bit convenient, was the whole shield on Star Labs.
Yeah, that I didn't think. I was thinking about that when I saw him. Like, have they ever used that before? But I don't think they had. Had they ever?
No, it was a thing on his suit, and then it conveniently was upgraded off screen, so it just fit the whole of Star Labs.
Right. Okay.
But wouldn't be surprised if come the end of this season, it doesn't work. Who knows though?
Tyler Scully with a 199 super chat. He goes, shout out my brother, huge Mia Smoke fan. Okay, well. There we go. There we go. Thank you for the super chat, though. I appreciate it. So, what did you think about the... Okay, so one of the things that did bother me about this episode was the fingernail thing. You know what I'm talking about? So, there are scenes where Barry's hands had pierced the gloves or whatever with these fingernails.
Yeah.
And then immediately after the fingernails went away, his gloves were fixed again. So I don't know if they, those little things bother me when something like that happens. It's like, okay, here we go. What did you think about that? Did you have an issue with that or not? Because I did. It was bugging me. I was like, how are his gloves fixed? He had like vampire nails or whatever.
It's a magic suit. It fixes itself.
Yeah.
There's your answer, Eric. There's the simple answer. Just like the shield on Star Labs, we got magic suit.
Yeah. So
future suit. It's suit.
What did you think about the whole Cecile stuff? And I felt like it was a waste of time. My opinion, the Cecile side.
I thought it was an interesting way to see her powers. Them use use her powers in an interesting way, like how she could sense the zombies.
Yeah.
But I thought it was going to have some sort of payoff, and it never did. That was my so. While it was an interesting use of her powers, there was no payoff. I thought when Joe got stabbed by the thing, I thought they were going to go to that building,
right?
Like they were going to go, and then it was going to be all them, and it could be like, oh, we got to get Joe to safety or something like that. But yeah, then they just went back to Star Labs. So and then the Cecile thing just fell by the wayside.
Yeah. Yeah. I got bored with it. And it was just pointless to me. So I could have done without that. Kind of brought the episode down just a little bit. So
I think Ralph got taken to Argus. Didn't they say that?
I don't remember. I did notice he wasn't there, but I didn't hear why.
I think they said something. I don't know. I might be dreaming. I think Ralph went to Argus or something for once again, might be dreaming. I have no idea.
Yeah, the Cecile stuff I could have done without, you guys, honestly. What did you think about Cisco's pushback with Iris about Barry being gone? Do you think you just accepted it too easily, or because I saw some people saying that it was kind of like out of it was not in Cisco's personality to just give up on Barry like that?
No, I thought it was okay. I just thought both of them had valid arguments and both of them were technically correct in what they were saying.
Right.
Like you can, or not necessarily correct, but you can understand what both of them were saying. But I think it was one of those things where they had to have them on two sides,
right,
or two viewpoints, and there just wasn't enough time in the episode to really go through it too much. But then you could argue, Cecile storyline go away. What was that, like 8 minutes of the episode, maybe 6 or 7 minutes? Could have taken that away and given more focus to maybe Barry and Bloodwork and then Cisco and Iris as well.
So something that I think a lot of people probably appreciated, but I found it to be a bit cheesy, was the last, that little sit-down conversation. Matter of fact, I think the picture on screen now is right after it happens, right before the red skies come through, where everybody is sort of giving a eulogy to Barry Allen before he actually dies. I just felt like that scene went on a little bit too long. I feel like they could have wrapped that up a little bit faster. only because I'm like, okay, we get it. You're trying to like make people cry with the scene. It just didn't feel as genuine as some of the more personal conversations we typically get between like Barry and Joe, or Barry and Iris, or any of the other characters on the screen. The little sit down moment, I don't know, it felt a little bit too long for me. Did you have any thoughts or opinions on that?
I thought it was nice. I didn't really have many
Yeah,
complaints about it.
I figured
My
some
thought,
people would.
my thought, like, was it was um, like I thought it was good that Cecile and Joe had something because they're not going to be in crisis, or at least be around Barry in crisis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really have too many issues with it.
Yeah,
To be
it
completely
didn't
honest.
bother me. It just felt like it went on about 30 seconds to a minute too long, in my opinion, but that's just me.
I think they just had to roll it till the crisis thing happened.
Yeah.
I think that was pretty much.
People are talking about the babies, Cecile and Joe's baby. This is exactly why having a baby
You
on
don't
a
want
show
it,
like this
yeah.
is a problem, because you cannot. The process of having a child is very. It's not exciting to put on a TV show, right? So you're not going to put it in a show like this because it becomes an annoyance. It becomes a problem. So giving them a child was kind of stupid, in my opinion. They should have never done it.
Like, fair enough, it was during the day because the baby would just be maybe a daycare or something, but or
Right.
something like that. But when it gets to like, oh, okay, it's almost midnight,
Yeah.
and there's a infection thing going on. Don't want to run to your baby, see if your baby's become little bloodwork baby.
Right. So let's Staggervore with a 199 super chat. Will Thawne return in his original form? So are we talking about the Matt Lesher version of Thawne? That totally depends on his schedule. I mean, really, they've said that before, that if he's available, they'll have him back. But he's still on a Netflix show right now, and they film down in Mexico, I believe. So he just doesn't. He would have to fly back and forth between Vancouver and Mexico, and I just don't think that's going to happen. So, as long as Tom Cavanaugh's around, if they ever need a Thawne to do something, he'll just be the one that they use, even if it doesn't make any sense at all. But thank you so much for the super chat. So let's talk about the end of the episode, where we have the kickoff for Crisis. Now, we saw this at the end of. Was it on the end of Batwoman as well? Because it was on the end of Supergirl.
The Nash Wells.
Yeah, the Nash Wells scene.
Yeah, it's been on all of them.
Okay. So we see that he's got the rock chipped away for the door. Now, is that the Monitor's door, or is that the Anti-Monitor's door? I'm kind of confused.
It's hard to tell because in the tunnel in this episode, it's clearly it's the Monitor.
Right.
Like, it's the Monitor's voice and stuff, but coming out of that thing, that wall, it sounded different.
Yeah.
Now, there's talks about that it's either the Anti-Monitor, it could be the Spectre or something like that. Maybe they just wanted to maybe distort the Monitor's voice a bit more, but it sounded like LaMonica Garrett, but not his Monitor voice.
Right.
Because they add that like effect, like it's almost like an echo without being an echo. But I don't know. I don't think they'd make it like a twist, like, oh no, it was the Anti-Monitor that's actually in there. Like, I know there's a theory like that's where the Monitor's keeping Anti-Monitor, but he's not on Earth. He's not in this universe.
Right.
He's not in this. He's in a complete different.
Yeah, it was
thing.
just weird
That's
that he
the
was
whole
saying
point.
like kneel to me and submit and all this other stuff, and that doesn't sound like the Monitor to me.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, that's what I know that that's why a lot of people are saying it could be the Spectre
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But I don't know if they'd use the Spectre in that way. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but this is definitely setting up the Paragons, because that's basically what we're looking at, is the door with the symbols for the Paragons on it, unless I'm crazy.
Yeah, well, the 7 symbols, 7 paragons.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting. So, in the chat, what would you guys score this episode of The Flash, The Last Temptation of Barry Allen, Part 2? I think Part 1 was superior, in my opinion, but I enjoyed Part 2 as well. So
I'll be
give your
back in
scores.
2 seconds. Just
Okay.
going to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, give your score in the chat for this episode of The Flash. Curious to see what everybody thinks of it. All right, so we're seeing a lot of 8s, 7.5s, a couple 9s, some 9.4s, 9.5s, 9.1s, 8s, a 6, an 8, a 9, 6, 9. Part 1 was better. I agree, Charles. 8, 8, 2, Steamboats. Part 1 was better. I agree. Okay, so, I mean, some pretty decent scores. All right. I give a, I don't know because I don't know how to watch the DC TV shows and
Eric smells.
Oh, welcome back. So why do you hate Iris?
back.
I don't hate Iris. Did I say anything negative about Iris? I don't think I did. So let us talk about Arrow. Let me go ahead and get the images first. This is the wrong one. We're going to talk about Arrow's episode. I would say Leanne Yu, but we know that it's Purgatory, which is another word for Leanne Yu, I think. Correct? Right,
Yeah, Leanne Yu is Mandarin for purgatory.
I knew I was close on that one. So this episode, there's really not much to honestly talk about. I mean, so we talked about this briefly before we started streaming. This episode was kind of a goodbye letter for the fans, I think. There was a lot of stuff in it that was just there for us to take away as being something we'll remember when the show wraps up. Seeing all of our characters together, fighting on Leanne Yu, conversations between characters, the Roy stuff, especially the Oliver and Diggle stuff we got, and and the annoying Mia conversations that we had throughout the episode, especially when her and William got into a fight about going to save Oliver. So overall, I mean, is there anything in particular from this episode that you think could be reviewed? Because I don't feel like this is one of those episodes where I don't even know if you can really review it, because it really was just sort of a proper goodbye episode for Arrow. At least that's how I felt. What did you think about it?
Like the first half, I just thought was just okay. Like it was gonna go halfway through the episode. I was like, okay, is anything gonna happen in this episode? Because I was treating this as like the my finale for Arrow. Because you got Crisis, then the spin-off episode, then the series finale is like almost like a retrospective sort of thing. It's not like it's not really a proper series finale. So I was a bit disappointed about halfway through. I was like, nothing's really happening. Like it was cool to be back on Leanne Yu, cool to see Yao Fei again, but it didn't seem like it was going anywhere. Then Roy got his arm amputated. Now, the thing is that if that leads somewhere, then awesome. But if that's just to say, oh, look, we did something that's in the comics, I'm like, well, I'd rather you not do it if you're just going to randomly do it.
Right.
And not do it like it is in the comics. I know it's pretty hard to do it like it was in the comics, but if you're just going to do it for the sake
So
of
did
doing
he have
it,
a
it's not gonna
fake
go
arm in the
anywhere.
future?
No. He had both arms. But that's the whole thing. Diggle's changed the future by telling Roy his future.
So they did exactly what Beth Schwartz says they weren't going to do, which is alter the future.
So that future is no longer concrete. Like I reckon they pretty much confirmed it once William, Mia, and Connor came back because butterfly effect. But as soon as
I mean, I kind of felt like they were going to change things up, but I mean, I get it. You know, they're trying to, like, I guess make the fans think about that, but like it's just like what's up?
Cinematographic. Hey Paige, you should make a T-shirt that says "Mia Smoke can catch these hands."
Oh
Jesus
God!
Christ.
Okay, yeah, we'll be doing that one.
Jesus Christ! But
so
yeah, as soon as Diggle said that,
let me just say
ago?
that this season started out with like 3 of the best episodes of Arrow I think that we've ever had.
Yeah,
and it
that's
just
the thing.
went downhill.
The thing is, I've been sort of like shunned away from criticizing Mia, because every single time I did, I wasn't even going in. I was just saying like, oh, she sucked at the beginning, but then they tried to redeem her at the end. And everyone's like, oh no, she's a good character. I'm like, hold on, when did that happen? Because this is something I say in my review. I'm just going to literally quote it. Like the thing I've disliked about the Mia and Oliver stuff is that they always start every episode out since she's come back from the future with them having issues and they have an argument, or there's just this insufferable unlikability about Mia because she's always complaining and whining, and then at the end of the episode they resolve it with like, oh yeah, we're father and daughter, let's have a hug. And William, third wheel it. Let's have a hug, family hug.
Uh-huh.
And they make you dislike the character a lot in the first, 60-70% of the episode, and that's too much of an episode to then make you come around by the end of the episode. Then they just repeat it the next episode,
Right.
and that's why people don't like me. And I think it's people that maybe don't look into the shows too much, like we do, and like I don't know the best way to describe it in regards to like the people that don't notice it.
Right.
Because I don't know necessarily how they're not noticing it. Because, yeah, Giovanni's probably just quoted right now. I think a lot of people just ignore it because Mia's hot. And that's literally it. You'll understand that. It's like why a lot of people didn't notice Nora's issues last season. I didn't dislike Nora as much as like you and some other people. But I understood that the character was literally a Poochie character to come in, do something, not be that interesting that you wanted to stick around, and she just goes away.
Yeah. Scott Kendall says, why do you get so upset the future got changed? Because they had explicitly said that what we were seeing in season 7 was a static future. And that was what was supposed to draw us into this dark dystopian world that exists now. And that's why these characters mattered, right? I mean, I feel like Mia, William, and Connor's story is dependent on that future. If you take that future away from them, then you've changed the characters fundamentally. Because everything they do, or everything they are or every bit of their personality is because of what has happened to them in the future. If you change that future, then you change those people.
Yeah.
So do you like Mia the way she is now? Because if you do, then that can't be the same Mia that we would have if the future was changed.
You know why? Because they even set up in this episode where Oliver goes to Diggle, hey, send William over to Felicity and let them grow up together.
Right.
So Mia's not going to grow up alone. She's going to grow up with William, who knew their father.
Right.
And also, like someone says,
Arrow. What's up?
You just went offline, I think.
What? Did I?
Yeah, you just went offline. Oh no, you're back on now.
Oh. Well,
you just went back on. You were off for about a couple of seconds.
That's weird because nothing's changed. I haven't hit anything.
Yeah.
I think YouTube's having issues. And my timer is still going, so this should be the same. Should be on the same thing.
Yeah, I think in the playback, I'll probably just skip for a second or something. Yeah. But you're back on.
All right. Anyway, so what was I talking about? Changing the future, right? Change the future. Okay, so the thing is, on Arrow, the one thing that made it different from the Flash was that they had said that the future was going to be the future and that we weren't going to do any time travel stuff. Right? That's what they said. So you believe that. And you go, okay, I'm going to commit to these characters for who they are because of the fact that this is the future they come from. Everything that we see happening right now, all the things that are needed to change the past come from these characters who are who they are because of their future. That's all I'm saying. Ultimately, I don't care if they change it. If they make it better, they make it better, except for the fact that it changes the characters. That's the problem I have. If they go back to their future and everything is changed, but they're still the same characters, that's not really fixing anything because they remember all the horrible things that happened. So that doesn't even make sense with time travel in the Arrowverse. So that's my whole point. I don't really care too much, but it does annoy me. Ganger Venom with a 4-channel crossover or a $2 super chat about the 4-channel crossover this season. I can't say, we get asked this all the time. The four of us, it's just really hard to find time to put something together. I mean, it just is. Everybody's on a weird schedule. Pagey and I just happen to be able to do this every week because of our schedules lining up. As you can see, Ben tried to do it with us, and that didn't work out. And I have no idea what Boba's schedule is at the moment. So who knows? I don't know. Thank you for the super chat, but I have no idea. All right, so... let's talk about the big stuff at the end of this episode, Pagey. The Harbinger stuff. What did you think about it?
I thought it was good. Like I asked you before, and I thought it was a good bit of like a bait and switch. You're like, oh, okay, because everyone was saying like what the device or weapon they were going to make was. No one that I saw was saying Harbinger.
Right.
And I even say in my review they've already recorded. If you say that, you're pulling it out of your ass that you predicted that. You are pulling it so deep. Right. You're going to need a 10-inch robot.
Which is exactly why I said, when you asked me about it, I was like, no, I didn't predict it, but I kind of thought it was fine.
And I was about to say, out of your ass, Eric. You just pulled that out. Because I didn't see anyone mentioning it. And I was surprised. Oh, Elijah, I predicted it. Bend over because you've just pulled something out. Jesus Christ. Yeah, no one predicted it. And I thought they did really well in regards to how they did that because you'll think, like, hey, well, what's this? They spent the whole season. The whole season was building to this, and you're like, what's this thing going to be? And I think it's actually a really worthwhile thing. It wasn't like one of those bait and switch and you get stuck with something that's, oh, this is a bit crap.
Right.
I thought it was like, oh, that makes complete sense.
Yeah.
And I think it worked out really well.
I was wondering anyway, because in the comics, she's extremely powerful. So I'm like, what are they going to use with her powers moving forward on the show?
She's pretty much
so,
like Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
That's probably the best way to describe it.
And it seems like they're going to make her at least somewhat powerful. So, I mean, kind of puts Lila in an interesting spot. I mean, is she going to be like Superman, Supergirl powerful? Because that would be interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're doing a lot with her character, and I'm actually glad because I like her as an actress and I like the character. So it's kind of cool that she's getting a bit more from the show. And then, of course, we have the Nash Wells pariah thing, which, by the way, I think you or several people had said they weren't sure because he had been seen on set on both suits, but it's pretty obvious that he's going to become pariah, right? I mean,
that's the confusing thing. It's like, why was he on set in pariah stuff?
Right. So
that's going to be the most interesting thing. Like, I'm guessing maybe time travel, or something. But
so we got a couple super chats. $5 super chat from Mike Horan. It says, never understood why they would worry about crisis at all when Oliver's kids come from the future. Shouldn't they prove the heroes win crisis? Time travel. I think we talk about that like 2 or 3 weeks ago because I was kind of upset about that. About how they could bring them back. About how the kids could come from the future if the future doesn't exist because of the antimatter universe. Like I made a point of talking about that. Like I think it was like 2 weeks ago. Yeah. So Mike Horan, I totally agree with you, but I'm not going to go off on a tangent about that again because I feel like I've said my piece on it. But I will kind of sum up my thoughts for you since you did super chat me. I totally agree with you. I think pulling them from the future when the antimatter universe is supposed to wipe out the main universe proves that they win, thus meaning that the Flash should have been able to travel to the future, but he couldn't. So it's timey-wimey stuff, but I totally agree with you. Thank you for the super chat. There's another super chat here from NBA Sizzle Reels, $2. He says, William wouldn't have met Mia without meeting Roy. Yes, you're absolutely right. You're 100% accurate on that. Thank you for the super chat. I agree, and I think you're getting to the point where they're saying they changed the future because of
but I think they explain that just that it means that it should technically be a different, like Mia should be a completely different character.
Yeah.
Like William could arguably be the same.
Yeah,
maybe.
Scott says, "Don't you want Mia to be changed?" Yes, but it's not about what we want all the time. You know what I mean? Like
making it make sense,
right? Like if Mia is the way she is, at least have her story make sense. That's all I ask. If she's going to be unlikable, at least make her cohesive and make it make sense. Like, changing her as a character, and, like, I have no idea what the show's going to be like in the future now. And I'm guessing that's why we're getting the backdoor pilot after Crisis, because they're going to be different characters. I don't think they're going to be the same characters. I think they're going to be different. So I don't even know, like, what... Okay, so let's just talk about this now. What if, just for a second, humor me on this, all of this building up to a spinoff that we're getting with these characters is all for nothing because they're going to be completely different in the spinoff.
It's literally just getting people used to the names of these actors, not the actual characters. It's the actors that they're getting us used to.
But don't you think that's like, would you consider that a waste of time for what we're doing right now?
Oh, I mean, yeah, it's a complete waste of time. I would rather Roy have come back into the show in episode 3 or episode 4 and spent time with Roy.
Yeah.
Much more of that. Like, even more Dinah and Renee would have been better than Mia.
Yeah.
William's decent, but William's got like the smallest amount of development possible.
Right.
You could literally do not much with the character, and I think the actor does a really good job because I don't think if the actor was as...
He made me like William when I didn't like William. So,
like if it was a different actor who wasn't, I guess, as appealing and charismatic, William sucks.
Yeah.
Like, William sucks in my opinion, but the actor makes that character.
Yeah.
It's almost like I'm trying to think of an example of a crap character where the actor makes him a bit better. Can't think of anyone.
Damien Dark.
Yeah, but I think he was actually a good character placed in a terrible season.
Yeah.
Because when he went to Legends, I think he was decent.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Let's just say good actor, terrible.
Sarah Lance.
I can't think of anything. Probably someone like Clifford DeVoe's probably a good one. I don't know.
Ralph
Let's
Dibny.
move on because we'll be here for 20 years trying to think of a character.
Yeah, probably. So we have another super chat. Mike Horan, $2 super chat. Thanks. I missed the last few after parties. Well, welcome back, Mike. We've got another $4.99 super chat from Maddie B Custom. Do you see that? Wait, do you see that Laura have been more day have a better mother and wife type than Felicity? What do you think about Beth is making Mia bad on purpose? Okay, so I don't understand the first part. Laura, Laurel. Okay,
I think I was going to say Laurel.
okay. So you're saying the Laurel with the Oliver thing? Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people would agree they would have rather have seen that. But Felicity was something that kind of took off on its own, and there's the fandom is still kind of out on the aggressive side for the Laurel and Oliver love story.
Well, I'll tell you this. The only reason Felicity exists is because Guggenheim has an obsession with original characters.
Yeah,
I don't know why. It's such a weird... And it flowed onto Mere Smoke. Where, like, even if there's, like, years, decades of almost a century worth of history with a certain character, an original character is much more appealing for Guggenheim. And I think Guggenheim's a good writer.
Right.
But I think as, like, a person that oversees stuff, holy crap, pull the pin. Like...
right.
You don't want him near like in regards to having like full control. That's the thing where I don't mind him in staying in charge of Crisis because you're pretty much given everything. You can't introduce an original character there because no one's gonna like it.
Right.
And it's not. It just doesn't work that well.
Yeah.
But in a normal season, it you can easily do it.
Right.
And that was the big thing with Felicity. It was an original character, people connected to it, and it just went down this like an avalanche, pretty much. And there was no stopping it. There was no stopping. If you jumped in front of it, smushed. You're getting flattened.
The other half
And Mere
of that,
Smoke's going down the same thing as well.
yeah, it says, do you think Beth is making Mia bad on purpose? So here's my theory on that. I don't think they're making Mia bad on purpose, but I think that they're pushing the boundaries of what they could do with her because they know there's a reset button coming up. And I guess they felt like if people were not receiving her well, they could flip it around.
Like do a 180.
Yeah, so I think we may see a slightly different Mia after Crisis. And
Oh God. Just thought, imagine you might end the stream
why is that?
if I say this.
Why? What are you
Imagine
saying?
the spin-off is just the Smokes. Donna Smoke, Felicity Smoke, Mia Smoke. 3 generations of arguably very annoying female characters from the same family. All blonde hair. Mia and Donna adopt glasses. They adopt some dodgy vision. Gain glasses.
Yeah.
I might have just created the new
Yeah,
Antichrist.
let's not do that. We're not going to go out on a limb with that one. So Rob 1212 4D, I'm not even going to entertain that. $5 super chat says, "Fun theory: our Soup goes look for paragons. One of them is Soup. First they find the Smallville Clark, short cameo Ron Clark. Then they find the Ralph Superman. So
that's literally my theory.
Yeah.
That's what I think happens.
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, because they're looking for a specific one.
Yeah, and they've confirmed that the Tom Welling's part was literally written very late, so he's not a paragon. So he's going to be like a misread. I think that's the actual one to go to. Oh, we went to go to Earth 36, not Earth 35. Oh, okay, well let's go to the next Earth, and then they'll find the Brandon Ralph.
Yeah,
one.
that makes sense. I'm excited about it though to see what they're going to do with it. Okay, so let's go ahead and we got one more question here from Staggervore 499 super chat. Would you rather the Canaries get picked up or the Superman spinoff? Well, I mean,
Are we dumb? What was that type of question?
Yeah,
I'm just joking, Staggervore.
I think the Superman spinoff is going to be more interesting, in my opinion.
Especially from what we like, the concept that we have. It's like Super Sons.
Yeah, so I mean, I would rather watch that. Do we still?
I'm interested to see what they do.
Yeah.
Because like you got Arrow's ending, Legend of Tomorrow. I would not be surprised this is its last season. And then Supergirl is probably going to end up to season 6 because I think it might be too expensive to renew the cast for contracts. So that's 3 shows that are going, and we only have 2 shows that are coming.
Yeah.
So one more should come, and I'd like to see what they do there. with another show.
Yeah.
I don't know what they could do. They need another like Flash type interest show.
Something with a lot of mystery and superpowers that they can do it on
Yeah,
a
and
budget.
like a very appealing character
Yeah.
that ever like that a lot of different ages can like.
I don't think a
I
Roy
know what they
show would
could go
work.
for.
Like Roy's good, but you guys, it needs to be another like iconic DC
It has to be a
character.
new character.
Yeah.
Can't be. You can't spin off an old character.
Like a Blue
That's
Beetle, like a new Blue Beetle type show or something.
yeah, like a
that.
Blue Beetle, a Booster Gold show would work. I think
Yeah.
Booster Gold may be too expensive. Arguably, Blue Beetle, depending on which version you go for.
Yeah.
But like Green Arrow and the Canaries, I can only see that show going for max.
We will
3
never
seasons.
get a Green Lantern show on TV that does it justice, so don't even ask for that.
Like I'm just trying to think like what they could do. The Adam's going to be on Legends,
Right.
Like they sort of like Ryan Choi Adam's going to be on Legends. I'm guessing Ray Palmer just hands it over the mantle.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's what happens. I'm not too sure. Chester P. Runk where he's live streaming all the time, spin-off show. Maybe they can call it Afterparty.
Oh God.
That's
Maybe.
the spin-off show.
All right, so score Arrow, you guys. Purgatory. Purgatory. 1 to 10. Drop a score down below. What did you guys think of this episode as the final proper episode of Arrow? It's not the last episode, but it is the final proper episode. Ganger Venom, we will get to your comment here in a second. Let's look there. So, wait, did somebody say, where was that at? 20 out of 10. Boring out of 10. Wow. Wow. Boring out of 10. 5, and I'm being serious. All right. Cool. All right.
5 and I'm being edgy.
I went bye-bye for 5 seconds. That's so crazy. Something must be going on with YouTube. I think they're playing around with their back end stuff. Because I'm not getting anything weird on my side. And even within the studio itself, I'm not getting anything weird. So I'm not sure. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're going to talk about Crisis, you guys. There's been photos. There's been a trailer, an official trailer. So let's go ahead and talk about this. Exciting stuff. What did you think of the Crisis trailer? I did like a reaction thingy today. What did you think?
I thought it was good. I think it was smart what Guggenheim did. That he just got his editors, the people that are editing the actual episodes, to do the trailer.
Right.
Like, wasn't given to anyone else. Like the people that do the CW promos. This was completely different. I'm intrigued to see if it's uploaded anywhere else because he just uploaded it to his YouTube channel. Like, is he going to give it to the CW and then they can put their stuff on it and they upload it to their channel, or is it just like a thing for Twitter? Because if you're not on Twitter, you don't see that trailer.
Right.
I know he uploaded it to YouTube, but it's not like I don't think he has like a million subscribers and stuff like Guggenheim. Like people just think it's like a fan made trailer almost.
Yeah.
So I'm intrigued to see if it actually gets uploaded to whatchamacallit, like the CW channel and stuff.
Yes, you guys, I'm fully aware that the photos are backwards. I'm fully aware of that.
I get that all the time. Like, why is your video flipped? I'm like, copyright. Why is your video flipped? Copyright.
Yeah, I mean, several people told me, oh, it doesn't work, and I know for a fact that it does in certain circumstances. So,
like, Guggenheim has just over 1,000 subscribers.
yeah.
So, like everyone's finding this trailer through pretty much us, like, uploading it and doing videos on it, or through Twitter.
So, okay, good night, Amethyst. Thank you for coming in. Sleep good. So, also the trailer was like almost 2 minutes. It was like a minute and a half, right? Wasn't it like a minute and 20 seconds,
It's
a minute, 30 seconds?
a minute and 40.
Okay. So it's a pretty long trailer for a CW event. I don't remember, was Elseworlds, did they have like a 2-minute trailer for that or no?
Elseworlds, I know Crisis on Earth X had a massive one.
Yeah.
They had like a 3-minute one. They had a massive one. Elseworlds, I can't remember. Elseworlds is only 3 episodes as well.
Right.
So I don't think they wanted to show too much from that. Yeah, I can't remember for Elseworlds.
Yeah,
In regards to
Rob,
length. Maybe they probably had like a minute one,
right.
50 seconds or something.
Rob 1212 4D with another super chat. He goes, Paragons, KC Soup, KC Bats, Green Lantern, whom else? I don't think Green Lantern's going to be a Paragon. I mean, I wouldn't get my hopes up for that. And I also don't think well, the Kevin Conroy version maybe, but he's not going to be out in the field being Batman. So,
yeah, I don't think Batman is, because he doesn't show up. They just have a chat.
Yeah.
Unless they just need to get something specifically from him.
Right.
Like information or something like that. I'd put Ryan Choi Atom down as 100%. Don't ask me why, I just think he will. Martian Manhunter.
Right.
Um,
I think Static Shock would be too close to Black Lightning, you guys. I mean, I know a lot of people would like that as a secondary show, but that's like having a Kid Flash show almost.
yeah.
So,
Who else could you do? Just trying to think off the top of my head characters that are showing up. Like Black Lightning could be one, but he doesn't show up till the Flash episode.
right.
And that's like, then again, like maybe like episode 2 focuses a lot on like the Kingdom Come Superman and the Kingdom Come Batman and stuff. So maybe there wasn't, maybe that makes sense. Yeah, bring him in the Flash episode.
I think honestly,
He's one.
Static Shock would be a character, and I don't know why we're even talking about this, but Static Shock would be a character that would show up on Black Lightning. He won't have his own show.
Bananas Epic Gaming, I can confirm that Sarah is not a Paragon. She is definitely not one. The Hawks? Well, Guggenheim did tease that, was it Vixen, the Hawks, or Firestorm, I think, are coming back. One of those three is coming back for Crisis.
Why is it Nate in Crisis? God, why is it Nate in a lot of places? Legends
Well,
is...
Zari is.
Yeah.
I think they are. The thing is, people that you don't think are in Crisis that are on the shows are in Crisis. It's just that they filmed indoors.
Right.
And because if you look at the stuff that they filmed outdoors, honestly, it's actually not that much.
Right.
Like, it's all just stuff that needed to be filmed outdoors. Like, if they could film it in a studio or in an open area, they can, like an open area that they can actually block off, they did that. But a lot of the stuff they couldn't stop.
Right.
Or they couldn't block off.
Yeah.
So like Zari's in there. We know through Instagram she's in it. And it wouldn't surprise me. I'd be more surprised if they weren't in it.
Yeah. Yeah. So Ganger Venom had a super chat. I'm just gonna talk about this here in a second.
Oh, the Ray. Yeah, it wasn't Firestorm, it was the Ray.
Yeah, it says $5 super chat. He goes, do you think we'll get a reference to Smallville's President Luthor from Tom Welling? He was elected in 2018 just saying, I need this to die happy. I don't think we're gonna get I think you guys are expecting a lot from Tom Welling's character, and I don't think we're gonna get quite that much from him.
He's a shoo-in, but they're using a lot of him in the promo material.
Yeah,
he's just a character they shoot in last minute.
Yeah, exactly. So I see Candographs kind of answer that. Keenan doesn't care about acting anymore. I mean, unless it's like an indie film or something like that. He's made it very clear in his music that's what he's focused on, is music and dance and modeling, and he just doesn't really care about acting, which is fine. Is Green Lantern going to be in the crossover? Saeed, there's rumors, but I don't think anybody's seen any pictures of a Green Lantern. So if he is, he's not been on set. Candographs would know better than I would, but I don't think so.
The only thing that suggests that Diggle is Green Lantern is that David Ramsey did a well, I don't know if he necessarily did one, but apparently it was taken along to the like where they take the promo photos. You know how like they did the Kingdom Come Superman when he's standing there in like Harbinger? He went to that area.
Right.
On the same day that Brandon Routh did the Kingdom Come Superman photos.
See, yeah, Canograph says nothing confirmed, but suspect that he is. So we may see him, but it will only be for this. Like, do not expect a Green Lantern TV show.
Oh, yeah. No.
Keenan on Black Lightning would be just like he was on Legends. Like, they would knock him out a lot. Speedsters are extremely overpowered, in all honesty. And I think the TV universe has shown just how broken they are as metahumans. So putting him on a show like Black Lightning would feel weird because, number one, what connection does he have to those characters in that world? Like, you'd have to... Honestly, he fit in really well with Legends. I don't know if I want to see him on Black Lightning. And we know he's not going to be in Crisis. He even said so himself. So why could we get Adrienne Palicki as Wonder Woman instead of Mia? Did you see that one? I know it's completely off topic, but just real like briefly, did you see that Wonder Woman pilot that never got picked up?
Yeah, the one that was on ABC, no, NBC.
Yeah, what did you think?
Um, oh, probably good that it didn't happen.
Yeah, that costume was really bad, honestly. See you later, Cinemographic. What do you think of that image where Kingdom Superman easily chokes Earth 38 Superman? I like that the true Kryptonian hero could easily win against crappy Earth 38 Kryptonians. Wow. Okay, so in case you guys aren't aware, the Brandon Routh Superman is technically the Christopher Reeve Superman. That storyline continued from like Superman 1, Superman 2 from 1978, 1981, I believe. Yeah, 1980 or 1981. The other two Superman movies in that universe were marked as non-canon, and the Brandon Routh Superman Returns was supposed to be the third in that consecutive line of films. So he technically is that original 1978 Superman. So the fact that he is much more powerful than the Earth 38 Superman makes sense because he just is. If you look at the movies, you know that he is. So I would not be surprised if that were the case. What do you think? Do you think he's going to be more powerful? Or do you think he just got the jump on Tyler Hoechlin's Superman? What do you think?
Well, he's probably just a bit more vicious,
Yeah.
especially through what that version of Superman would have gone through.
What do you think about the Kevin Conroy Batman character? Do you think we're going to see much more of him outside of that scene, or do you think that's pretty much the only
I
scene
think there's a
there?
specific reason they go there.
Yeah.
I don't think they specifically know that they're finding a Bruce Wayne because Kate seems surprised.
Yeah.
So I don't think they specifically know they're looking for, Bruce Wayne. I think they're just looking for, they get told about this is where a certain person is, whether he's a paragon or not.
Right. You know, I have to say the one thing that kind of makes me sad is we're seeing all of these characters and maybe even possibly a Green Lantern, and we're not going to get a proper Batman. It just feels weird. And I'm not even a huge Batman fan, but it just feels strange that he's like the one. Well, Batman and Wonder Woman. Those two characters I would love to see. Not so much Aquaman, not so much Cyborg, or any of those Justice League characters. But Batman and Wonder Woman specifically, I'd love to see, in here somewhere. But I don't think we're going to see that at all. Kate might have been surprised just because of the suit. Or that he's like, I don't know, 30 years older, I guess, than her. Maybe 40 years older. I don't know. The trailer itself I thought was really good because it did not give us too much, but it honestly feels like a movie. It felt like a movie trailer to me. Yeah. And there's a lot of people who are hating on the CW shows. I see it all the time. But look at where they are right now. Look at what this trailer was. Like, we didn't even get this in actual film first. We got it on TV. How is that even possible? We're getting like arguably the biggest DC event of all time on a TV show because there's enough of those shows to make it happen. That's crazy that the movies couldn't do that. So people give it crap all the time, and I see people challenging CW versus DC Universe and blah, blah, blah. They've paid their dues. Like, I feel like people are coming after them because they're like the Marvel of the DC Universe. You know what I mean? I feel like the Arrowverse is the one that's consistently putting out content for fans, and there's a lot of other misses in the movie side and on the TV side. Whereas this universe, as annoying as it can be sometimes, it still ultimately tries to provide fan service. So, I don't know. How do you feel about it? Do you think this is going to be like one for the records, or do you think it's going to be, is it overhyped? I think it's going to be great. I think this is going to be the biggest one, honestly.
Oh, I think I can't wait for it. Like everything that's come out about it, like there's nothing there that makes you go, "Ooh, I'm not too sure about that." Everything that we've seen publicly and everything that like you've heard, like even some like the leaks and stuff like that.
Right.
It sounds awesome as a contained crossover, but also what it sets up for the future as well.
Right.
Like personally, I wouldn't mind if there was like a big character being introduced that maybe could be spun off into their own show. Like maybe that could be there instead of the Mia Smoke show, or Green Arrow Canaries, whatever. That's probably the only thing that I would like that isn't there. But you never know, that could be a thing. You know,
Like people are talking. Like, look at this suit here. Look at this Superman suit that Brandon Routh is wearing. Like, this is movie quality.
well, wasn't it
costuming.
made by a movie level, like one that makes movie suits?
Yeah,
I can't remember,
like-
is it Rock something?
Yeah, I read the article that it was made by someone that does costuming for film. So
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what the things. It's like Rock something maybe. Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head.
Staggervore with a 199 super chat. Do you think we'll get a better season of Legends? I think this is going to be the last season of Legends. To be honest, I can't see.
But will it be the worst?
Probably. I don't know if we'll get a better season of Legends. I think Legends has let itself go. So
Well, you know what's funny? Apparently, we're getting the first trailer for Legends throughout the Crisis week. They're going to play it during Crisis
oh, are you serious?
in ad breaks, yeah. Because it'd be about just over a month away when Crisis starts. I think Legends starts the week after Crisis ends, so
Yeah.
January 21st or something. So I've heard that like they're doing a Legends trailer or like a little promo thing.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, trying to compare it to like Endgame at that level is kind of ridiculous. Like I see people that are saying it's better than Endgame or whatever. This is, in my opinion, this is going to be. I don't know if we'll ever see a Crisis on Infinite Earths in the movie side. I don't know if we're ever going to see it now. This
If
is the
you did,
closest
it'd
we're
have to
gonna
be
get
like
this.
it'd have to be like 3 parts.
Yeah, and it would be like a decade away at the very
Because you got to
least.
remember, they wouldn't get the advantage of being able to set it up throughout the seasons before. So if they started, it'd have to be 3 movies,
Right.
probably, or 2 like bordering 3-hour movies.
Scott
not
Kendall
over.
is saying that that Kevin Conroy is a 90-pound weakling. Did you see that there?
Sorry.
That he's saying that how could he? Scott Kendall said it's cool that Kevin Conroy shows up as Bruce Wayne, but how the hell could that 90-pound weakling ever be Batman?
Well, I think if you sort of got immobilized in an exoskeleton, you wouldn't be gaining too much muscle. Just be losing it, and he's pretty old, so that might explain it.
Sounds like hold on, wait. Somebody said the best Batman. Wait, hold on. I gotta see this.
Well, I think it's like he's the synonymous one, for the voice.
Oh, okay. So any final thoughts on the trailer? Anything that you want to add in before we wrap everything up, or?
I just pray that Mia Smoke isn't in it too much because I think it'd be unbelievably undeserved.
Did you see her sitting
Like
at the table with all the big people? Like, I'm like, why is she
Yeah,
there?
that's something where it's like it reeks of Guggenheim, and this isn't me like hating. It's just that you have to deserve your place there.
Right.
You have to deserve it. She's been in.
How many other characters deserve to be in that spot and they weren't there? I mean, that's the way I feel about it. Like,
All of them deserve to be there.
right.
Like you could argue maybe Batwoman doesn't, but I think she's like they've made her like that big character. She was involved with Elseworlds, but she deserves to be there more than Mia.
Right.
Who else is there? I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
Lois
I
is
think
there
everyone
as
else-
well, but I mean,
I think that's more no, but that's because she got saved from Argo. They get brought there
Right.
from Argo,
yeah.
so that's the reason that she's there. I think.
199 Super Chat, do you think Kevin Conroy is Earth 1 Batman? No, I do not.
No, he's from a different Earth.
I think
there's people confused around that. I think I think it's similar to like how the Earth 38 Superman is younger than say the Kingdom Come one and the
Right.
Clark Kent from Smallville.
Right.
Like it's just like with Earth 90 Barry Allen. They're just older versions, and you're gonna find that on different Earths where the same person and character, even though it's played by a different actor, will be older or younger. So
Right.
I think on whatever Earth they go to, that Bruce Wayne's in his 60s, but the one on Earth 1 can be in his like 40s.
Yeah.
I think that's probably what you're gonna find there.
I'm looking at this Batwoman photo here from the trailer. That's not a good shot of the mask. That actually looks really bad in the picture. It's like it looks weird around her face. Why is Laurel not there? I don't know. Wait, did Laurel not... is she not going to be in any of the crossover? Or...
They said Earth 1 Laurel's in there.
But not Earth 2 Laurel. Okay.
Well, I don't know. They might be saying that. I don't know how Earth 2 Laurel couldn't be in there. Like if all these other characters are in there.
I
Like,
mean, her Earth was one of the ones that was destroyed. She deserves to be
like
there.
Dinah and Renee are in the final fight.
Yeah.
So how isn't Laurel there? The only thing I can think of is that I don't even know how it works out, to be completely honest.
Yeah. So, oh, okay. Well, we're gonna wrap it up there. I think we had wait. Was there another super chat that I missed here? No, Maddie B Customs. No, we got them all, I think. So I think we're gonna wrap it up there, you guys. But this next week is the kickoff of Crisis. We're gonna get the first 3 parts before the break, and then we're gonna get the last 2 parts when we come back. So I'm assuming there's gonna be some big cliffhanger on that 3rd part. Probably with a couple of characters, maybe more than one, that are gonna be dead. And we're gonna have to wait and see who's gonna. Yeah, we're gonna see who's gonna come back or whatever. So I mean, but I'm excited for it. I think it's gonna be great. I'm curious to see how Black Lightning is gonna tie into it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really have many other thoughts about it. But they're saying dad joke for you, Pagey. But before we get to that, what would you guys score the trailer for Crisis on Infinite Earths? Score the trailer in the chat. Let me know what you guys thought of it on a scale of 1 to 10. Crisis on Infinite Earths. 1 to 10. What is your score? And then we're going to do some dad jokes. I actually purchased a box of dad jokes in the other room.
Uh-oh.
So next time we do a after party, I'll have some dad jokes of my own to use.
Oh, well, I got some Christmas themed.
Okay.
We're in December,
All right,
so I got some Christmas themed dad jokes.
Okay, here we go. Dad jokes, you guys. Get ready. All right, go for it.
There's 2.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, okay, I'll do this one. What do you call Santa's most impolite reindeer?
I don't know.
Rude Ulf.
How did I get that? That was so obvious. Okay, so that was one dad joke. Here goes number 2. Come on.
How can you tell the difference between snowmen and snow women?
I don't know.
Snowballs. That's it, ladies and gentlemen.
And that's it. That's where we're going to wrap this up. Thank you so much for coming to the hashtag After Party. Next week, we will be talking about Crisis on Infinite Earths, and I cannot wait. I don't know how I'm going to review it yet because it's kind of all into one thing. So maybe I'll do like, I don't know how I'm going to do it. How are you doing your reviews for it? Are you doing one for each episode individually?
Yeah, one for each episode, and then when it comes back from the break, I'm going to react to parts 4 and 5 because it's like a
okay
2-part finale thing.
Okay.
I don't know what you want to do next week for Crisis. Whether you want to, I don't know. I'll see. I know.
We'll figure something out. You guys keep up with us on Twitter. You can find
spam Eric on Twitter if you want
here.
daily Crisis streams after each
go.
episode.
There you go.
Spam Eric.
That's our Twitter. So follow us if you're not already. We'll keep you updated over there. It's really the only social media thing I use anymore.
And you use TikTok.
Oh God, no, I don't use TikTok. Not at all. Anyway, so that's it, you guys. We're out. I will catch you next time in the live stream. Thank you so much, Pagey, for joining me. And I will see you guys next time. Peace out.
Farewell.